I'm not sure how much of America, but a very, very significant portion.
America's crying tonight. I think the
I've got
liberal
text
media is crying tonight.
campus about a dorm that's just in tears. I know of another that I'm hearing from elsewhere, and some of the people you were just talking about are crying from California to Massachusetts about this. This is a sadness. It is a mourning moment for those people, and it is a moment filled with fear, And
Who put that fear into them? Oh, liberal media, who put the fear into them with your lies?
Kind of stuff in it. But he has a job to do. What we saw happen in the stock market is happening in the hearts of Americans. They're afraid Donald Trump has to address that. Steve?
He's no longer the celebrity apprentice guy, and he's no longer the bombastic, nonsense-spewing presidential nominee. He is the president-elect of the United States with all the awesome powers and responsibilities, that will come with that office. And, we've seen a side of him in this campaign that gives cause to worry greatly. But now maybe we'll
like
see
the ability to win
of Donald J. Trump as he gets ready to assume this office, and we just have to hope that that's the case.
Eugene?
Some of his supporters, certainly not all the people who voted for him, but some, took Donald Trump and what he was saying as a license for bigotry.
For bigotry,
They saw
a license for bigotry.
Under which
The basket of deplorables. Exactly the media, what you're hearing right now, is exactly why Trump got elected. Because people that are not bigots are sick and tired of media calling them bigots because they won't agree with the media mind meld of the liberals. These guys are a hoot. It's worth watching them. They're just beside themselves because their fantasy palace just came down. Amazing. Let's take a look in the office here. I know some of you have gone to bed. They don't get it. They just don't get it. And they never will. Because the kind of liberalism that they've ingested is viral, gets into your brain, and it taints the way that you see reality. They say there's millions of Americans right now in fear. Millions of people in fear. Who put that fear into them? Not Trump. It's the liberal media trying to make him look like he was a bigot or a this or a that. And now, so what's the next step in the battle going to be? Well, you just heard it. They're going to constantly question whether he has the competence, the ability, the intelligence, in a complex where forgetting that Barack Obama never built a bloody business in his life. And these same guys who were his advisors had no problem seeing him step into the presidency with all the nuances of and complexities of the world. I mean, my God, he created ISIS and then gave $180 billion to a terror organization like Iran. And they're worried about Donald Trump making mistakes. Be thankful tonight that God heard your prayers. I'll tell you what, I was on a roller coaster with this thing. So no matter what I said, everybody thought that I was half the cause, or I was prophesying Donald Trump's presidency. I was prophesying he needs to be president. No matter how I qualified it. But I said the church has to show up. I got news for you. 30%, evidently, it's a high percentage of evangelicals showed up. Now let's own it. The leaders really were nervous, tentative, cautious, conditional. It's the church that did it. It's the body. It's the people that did it. It's the rank and file believer that did it. It wasn't the leaders. The leaders were all behind Cruz and then behind Mario, and then they were behind Huckabee, all good men behind Carson. None of them were with Trump from the beginning. And when I first met him, I never told anybody this. When he first walked into the boardroom, I imagined Hail to the Chief in the background. And I looked around the room at all the faces, and none of them were seeing it. But I heard it. Dun, 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 dun. And I heard Mike Wallace one day when he was interviewing him. and George Will was on, and Krauthammer, and all the highbrow conservatives. And he said, there's almost something presidential about him, his bearing, his authority. What are you saying? What are you saying? You're saying he actually could be a president? What, is that what you're saying? Well, I'm saying that he has a presence about him. Poor Mike Wallace, he got jumped on by daring to insinuate on Fox as a conservative. Oh, my gosh. I'll tell you, it's a major achievement. We're going to have a whole new media. And here's our problem. We got to get this. We really got to do this. We've got print media because Breitbart, Drudge, and we got the talk radio, the Savages, the Levines, Rush Limbaugh, Dennis Prager, but we don't have television. We need to also have media. We need to have visual media that is able, more than O'Reilly, who has a tendency to be pompous and, thin-skinned. We need to have media personalities that can articulate, like these guys on the left do, what a worldview is that is pro-Trump. Yeah, Lou Dobbs is good, but he's kind of, blue-bloodish, Wall Street, jargonish. Man, I've been up all night. What time is it? 3 a.m. What the heck are you guys doing up? What are you doing up? Anyway, I had to stay up to listen to the how the liberals are handling this. It's just too delicious to let go. After all, we've been bludgeoned by them for years. Anyway, you guys were there. You were there from the beginning. You were there in these walks in my office, in my library, right in here, and we'd walk around in the night, and we'd have our meltdowns, and we'd pray, we'd talk. This is where we did it. Discussed our 7 mountains. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you for not wavering. I want to thank you for not failing. Thank you for not giving up. Thank you for being strong. And we succeeded so far, but now the battle begins. Now the movement. We can't think in terms of, being left or right. We really have to think about all America because the left is so traumatized to minorities that they actually think Trump's against them, which is so stupid because he's the only president that actually is reaching out to the inner city in order to fix it. But we've really got some work to do. It's spiritual warfare, man. So, the enemy is just screaming right now. Because America was so close to going to the brink. Those Supreme Court justices, the laws that were coming against you guys, people like me, there's a spirit behind aggressive, progressive agendas. It wants to reshape the narrative, the conversation. It wants to turn the question of tolerance into an endorsement of every perversion and unbiblical idea that's conceivable, and then to litigate against Christians and target them and take them out. Thank God the IRS will not become a weapon in the hands of another administration to hunt down Christian organizations or tea parties and such things. Ah, man. It's going to be hard to go to bed. I've been fighting for this day. And then, I really want to get another book out now. I have The Chaos Candidate, but I think I need to put a book out called The Chaos President, because I called it so far exactly. Even Megyn Kelly, I think Megyn got my book because she's talking about how Melania Trump was the one who told him that if he runs, he'll be president. Nobody knows that. I pulled that out in my book. Then she called him a wrecking ball 4 times tonight. I think she got my book. So I want to write another one real fast on the Chaos President. One of the things that we need is a Department of Religion and Diplomacy. We need to pony up with the billion Christians that are in the world and gather them together in a way that can have a voice in peacemaking within their countries, building bridges to deal with the devil's work through fanaticism in extremism. I'm going to propose that to Mr. Trump. Department of Religion and Diplomacy. We also need to have faith-based initiatives reinvigorated. The best way to turn around the inner city is going to be by utilizing the church as a center for job training, character formation, spiritual development. Let the church be empowered so that they can be a funnel through which qualified training can happen, and then job opportunities can come and investment can come to people that are certifiably trained. This would be a great way to heal the gap and work with pastors and leaders, and on purpose have white and Hispanic and African American leaders working together. And Asian, we have a growing Asian population. We should have diversity coalitions in the inner city modeling how different races, different genders can respect each other and get along. That would be my second proposal for the chaos president. The third is we got to get a hold of media, because media is a mind molder. And we have to have humor and comedy and wit and scholarship, and we need it. We need it not just on talk radio and in print or in digital, but we need it on the visual. That's going to be my third proposal. And then the fourth is going to be, we're going to need shared sacrifice economically. The country's got to realize to fix what we've got, we're all going to have to tighten our belts so that we can make it. We can't live with the debt we've got. Okay, so what do you think of those ideas? You guys ready to go for this? On Friday, 11/11 at 1 o'clock, we'll be disclosing the chaos president's agenda, what I'm going to propose to Mr. Trump. You guys want to get in on it? We're going to need a movement army. We're going to need a whole lot of people. They're going to work on this. Now, a lot of people are in bed right now, so they're not going to see this important broadcast. So I want you to share this, will you please? Will you, everyone here that's listening to me now, if you share it 2 times, just share it, then we'll be able to get 1,000 people on Friday that'll become part of our movement. And we've got a building now 2 doors away from Bernie Sanders in Washington, D.C. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Lauren, thank you. EA, thank you. We Shine, thank you. Thank you. Hop Singh, thank you. Melissa, thank you. Crimson, thank you. Penny, thank you. K-Joy, you guys are great. We got a building in Washington for the American Renewal Center, a national renewal center. 2 blocks from the Capitol, boardroom with 12 chairs, a library for meeting, leather chairs, a first floor for administration, right next door to Bernie Sanders' new operation. Believe it or not, he's got enough money, so he's got an operation at Washington. Right across from the Senate interns. And I'm going to be spending some more time in Washington. You guys are going to help me with that. We're going to have to pivot and now go from Periscopians from Dallas to Periscopians in D.C. We're going to do this from Washington. And we're going to help this president, Cyrus, as I prophesied. When Donald Trump takes the oath of office, puts his hand on that Bible on January 20th, he will be 70 years old. He will be 7 days, 7 months into his 70th year on January 20th. 7 days, 7 months, and 70 years. America's Jubilee. This is the 777 that corresponds for America this year with the 5777. And it doesn't solve the problem. It begins the challenge of the clashing of swords, the clashing of words and worldviews. I promise you that the progressives, it's a spirit. They will fight back. They will be ornery. They will be mean. They will be looking to obstruct. They will be what you would expect, manifesting. So we have to be consummate peacemakers, consummate peace creators. Just like you're dealing with like any other rioting situation, we have to pray peace, find the man of peace. We have to create peace. We have to rebuild this country. Well, thank you for sharing. And we can't let up in prayer. Thank you to all the other nations, to Canada, Guatemala, and to all the places that have, Australia, that fasted and prayed. Thank you so much. We've got work to do. It's exciting. And thank you for your encouragement. I really felt like I had my neck stuck out there. I feel a relief that I'm not insane. I'm not mad after all. I've seen it. And I see what's coming, the fourth crucible. This is the chaos candidate, for the chaos is coming. Okay. I'll be talking to you soon. God bless you.